Hello and welcome. I'm Jason Davis and we have a special treat in store for you. With me are the 5 contestants in the National Carnival Queen Pageant. We're going to be getting to know them just a little bit better. You've seen their promotional videos, but now you'll get to meet the persons behind the smiles. Let's start off with a brief introduction. We're going to be going down the line and we'll start with contestant number 1. Could you please tell us your name and your sponsor?
Hello, St. Nevis. I am your delegate number 1 in this year's National Carnival Queen Pageant, Sasha Herbert. How are you doing?
Great to meet you. Let's move on to contestant number 2.
Good evening, everyone. I am your ambassador number 2, Saskia Evans, and I am sponsored by The Cable.
Nice to meet you, Miss Evans. On to number 3.
A pleasant evening to one and all. I am the beautiful and bold Miss Hasha Parmanand, your ambassador number 3. I am proudly sponsored by Carib Brewery St. Kitts Nevis Limited. This is Carib country, where a real beer is Carib.
All right, thank you, the brave and bold and beautiful contestant number 3. On to contestant number 4.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nikira Nichols, and I am Miss National Caribbean Insurance.
Welcome. And number 5.
Good evening, everyone. I am your final delegate in this year's National Carnival Queen Pageant, Canine Blanchett, and I am proudly sponsored by my employer, the St. Kitts Nevis Angola National Bank.
And welcome to you all. So as I mentioned before, we're going to be talking to you, getting to know a bit about you, just to get the audience to feel a bit more connected to each of you. Now, this is a good question. Can you just raise your hand? Has anyone here entered a pageant before?
Putting me on the spot there, Jason.
So, Sasha, you're the only one who has not entered a pageant. So let's go straight to you. You are here and you're surrounded by, well, veterans, as
royalty,
it were.
Royalty.
You yourself are royalty. Don't sell yourself short. Are you nervous? How do you feel entering a pageant for the first time?
It feels, I'm having a lot of emotions. It reminds me of when I started my business 4 years ago. I was excited, nervous, so mix of emotions, but I am excited most and foremost because this is something I've dreamt of for quite some time. And it sort of feels surreal to actually be on this journey because from dreaming about it to actually living it, it is mind-blowing. It's a mix of emotions, but nothing daunting. It's high energy from here.
Oh, well, that's great. So you're going into it with a very positive attitude.
Very positive.
I love that. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum, contestant number 5, Miss National Bank. Now, you say that you have had some experience. Tell me about your pageant experience.
I have always been a lover of pageantry. I entered the National Carnival Talented Teen Pageant in 2014. And from there, I've contributed to pageantry in many different aspects. I've worked production, I have hosted Talented Teen already, and so my love for pageantry runs deep. And so my decision, or the reason why I entered this pageant, came very easy to me.
Okay. Do you think your previous experience is going to help you in this show?
Yes, from both ends, on and off the stage.
All right. Well, you sound very confident. All right, let's move to your neighbor, contestant number 4, Miss National Caribbean Insurance. Tell me about your pageant experience.
Like Canine, I also entered the National Talented Teen Pageant roughly 10 years ago, a very, very long time ago. I do also think that it would help me in this year's pageant in terms of what I could build on, in terms of what were my defaults or what I fell short in the previous pageant that I entered and what I can know, as I mentioned in the earlier previews, in terms of building on my insecurities and untapping some of those potential that I have probably hidden.
So I guess you could call this a growing experience for you?
Oh, definitely.
All right. Let's move on to number 3, contestant Miss Carib Brewery, the brave and bold and the beautiful Harsha Parmanand. Tell me about your pageant experience.
My pageantry starts when I first entered the first ever Mr. and Miss CSS house pageant at my high school. Since then, I have grown to love it because it just makes my personality uplift, my confidence, Since then, I entered the Miss Culture 2015. I did not place. However, I did not deter those challenges to let me down. I gained strength and I re-entered in 2019 and I came first runner-up. I find that these experiences gain my confidence and I was able to have more outspoken words when it comes to everything that I am involved in publicly.
Okay, so, oh sorry, sorry to cut you off.
And I feel all these experiences that I gained will help me through this journey and is helping me in this journey.
All right. In your last pageant, you said you placed first runner-up. So I assume you're aiming for the crown this time?
You can say, one step closer.
All right then. Finally, let's go to contestant number 2, Miss The Cable. Now, tell me about your pageantry history.
I would have participated in a number of pageants. I first entered the Charles E. Mills pageant in 2012. I placed first runner-up, and then I went on to Miss Back to Roots. I won that year, and then I did Miss White Sands. I did Miss Swimsuit, in 2018, and I placed second runner-up. From there, I represented St. Kitts as an ambassador in Dominica in 2019. I did not place in that show, but I was very proud of my performance, and I'm here again in the National Carnival Queen Pageant. I am proud of my progress, and I use pageantry as a way of building my confidence and self-esteem. I grew up very, very shy, so these pageants have been a stepping stone for me to get closer to where I want to be.
So would you recommend entering a pageant for someone who might need some sort of a boost to their self-esteem?
Yes, definitely. Pageants have helped me tremendously. As I said, I grew up very, very shy. My mom was the one who actually forced me, in a sense, into entering my first show, and looking back, I don't regret it at all. So if anyone wants to enter a pageant to gain self-esteem and confidence, I would say go for it.
Okay, let me come back to Sasha. Now, as the one with the least amount of experience here, how easy, how difficult was the decision to enter this National Carnival Queen pageant?
I may have no experience in pageantry, but I do have experience in being in the public eye. And I do have a talent that I've been showcasing for some time, which I see a pageant being the aim of a pageant, to showcase who you are as a person, showcase your talents, being able to connect with your federation and to be able to represent your country. And I've ticked all those boxes already. So it's been easy because I've been in that arena in just a different capacity. Right? So it's been easy because I've been here, just in a different capacity.
And here you are now?
Here I am, and I'm excited.
All right, ready to take the stage. And we're all ready and willing to see all of you when you take the stage. Now, the National Carnival Queen pageant is no easy task. I've worked with many contestants over the years, and I know that it takes a great amount of preparation. So I would like each of you to just speak a bit about what you've been doing to get ready for the show. Let's go in reverse order. Let's start with contestant number 5, Miss National Bank. What have you been doing to get ready for this pageant?
Like I said during our launch, person saw us as the National Carnival Queen Contestants in September. However, we were prepping behind the scenes since about February when we got chosen as ambassadors. However, it's been an uncertain year, and I think this has been one of the most challenging years for preparing for a pageant. We entered into another stage of lockdown, and so there was a lot of uncertainty. However, I think that we're a very resilient group. We still conquer, we still push, and so I had diet changes completely, fitness changes as well. However, those are things that I wanted to change. I think that pageantry allows for a lot of development and growth, and I have seen myself growing in those areas: speaking, walking, fitness. dieting. And so that is how I have been preparing for the show so far.
All right. Same question to Miss National Caribbean Insurance.
As Kenny already mentioned, there were quite a bit of uncertainties. Initially, fitness would have been one of my first priority in terms of getting my body ready, and public speaking, which was a bit nerve-wracking for me. As mentioned in my previous pageant, it was probably one of my weakest areas, and I see pageantry as a way for self-development, personal development. So with this pageant, I knew it would help me grow in that area. As she also mentioned with the lockdown and working on your body, when you go into lockdown, it made you kind of like revert back to some of your old habits. So that was a bit challenging. And also with all the uncertainties and the vaccination process, getting everybody to get on board. So that was a bit challenging in terms of how the pageantry would flow. How would it be conducted? Would it be virtual? Would we have a live audience? And all of those things would have had to be taken into consideration, especially with our preparation, how we would perform our talents. Because when you have a live audience versus being virtual, it kind of plays in how you would want to be presented, how you want to present yourself. So two areas were my public speaking that I really wanted to develop in, and my body.
Let's move on to number 3, Miss Cara Brewery. What have you been doing to get ready for this pageant?
I have been exercising tremendously, as I was thick before. So I am trying to shape up a little bit to look in the swimsuit segment, to look fabulous. Yes, I started last year actually to exercise. However, due to the COVID situations with the lockdown, it was on and off, and then eating came into place. However, I won't talk about that. But yes, I have been exercising. I have been changing my diet actually, because I love healthy food, and a lot of food in terms of healthy, like a lot of protein and fish and so on. And I have been sticking to those diets for this show. And what I have been doing is trying to make videos on social media to help with my public speaking, because I tend to get nervous when I am in front of the public. You know, the nerves get to you. And that is what I have been doing. I have been exercising, eating healthy, and I have been spreading awareness of my pageantry journey to show others that yes, you can do it through difficult times.
All right, very inspirational. Let's move on to contestant number 2, Miss The Cable. Tell me about your pageant preparations.
Just like the others, I have been working out a lot. Yes, I've been working out a lot. Due to COVID, I've gained tremendous weight. And for this pageant, I knew that I had to put in a lot of work so that I can look a certain way, so that I can perform at my best. I have struggled as well with public speaking over the years, and so far I have been reading a lot. I have had different sessions, interview sessions, just trying to get more comfortable with speaking. I would say that it's been going well, and I also had to change my diet. That goes with the working out, fitness, and yes.
Okay, that sounds like pretty much what everybody else has been going through, the diet, the fitness, and the personal development. Okay, good job. Now let's move on to the final answer, contestant number 1, Sasha, the artist. I'm sorry, that's how I know you first. So
that's okay. Most people know me as Sasha the artist, but we're in a different capacity now.
Right.
I am Miss Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis. Still advocate for visual arts education.
All right.
Concept.
So tell me about your pageant preparations.
I will change up the answers a bit. Yes, physical is a factor. However, for me, I have been into fitness for some time. So dieting, exercising comes easy for me. I've been on that journey long before I've decided to enter the National Carnival Queen pageant. However, it has been challenging in terms of mental capacity. A lot of people don't realize from the outside how much mental capacity that you need to build up this show, to be in a show. You have to build up yourself every day. You have to get your self-esteem up. You have to be confident. You have to stop worrying about a lot of things. You have to really be focused on your goal and not allow outside influences to affect your performance. And that has been challenging because we're in a pandemic. How can you say that I can't worry about things when COVID has impacted your income, when it probably has had a direct impact on your life in general? Other things had come into play for me, especially in the start of the year, where I almost thought I was not in a mental space to even enter the pageant. But I had to remind myself that my current situation is not my future situation. And so as a dream, I can't allow this one particular obstacle to be the big obstacle that stops me from entering the pageant. And so said, so done, I'm here, and I'm glad that I was able to overcome that. But it's still a journey of always being number one on top mentally. That has been a challenge, but we are overcoming it.
Well, now that's inspiring. Now, we're almost out of time, so I want to talk a bit about your platforms. I understand each of you has a platform that you're representing. I would like you to tell the audience what is your platform and why did you choose it? We're going to go down the line once again, and we start with contestant number 1, Miss Development Bank.
Hi, as Jason would have called me earlier, I am Sasha the Artist, as some of you may know, and that really is how I became an advocate for visual arts education. I started Paint and Sip with Sasha the Artist 4 years ago, long time ago, because I've always wanted to make visual arts education accessible as possible to as many people as possible. I started in the entertainment sector, and then I transitioned into the academic realm just last year, where I launched Sasha the Artist Art Academy, an after-school art program that exposes children to painting, drawing, and sculpting. And that is because I wanted to create a space where young children, young artists can express themselves, can be able to say they want to be an artist and actually be encouraged to be one and be in a space where they can foster their own creativity. Because as a child, I knew I wanted to be an artist, but I had to foster my own creativity because there were no visual art classes in my primary school. And that actually still exists today because there are no visual arts programs in any of the public primary schools across our federation. And I knew I had to make a change. Change starts with one person. You have to really put your foot forward and say, yes, this is what I want to change. And that so inspired my platform, the inclusion of visual arts education in our public primary school curriculum. It's just one step, and I'm hoping to really ignite real change in the future.
I am also a big supporter of the arts, so I understand exactly where you're coming from. Let's move on to contestant number 2, Miss The Cable. Tell me, what is your platform and why did you choose it?
My platform is cultivating and fostering creativity in our youth through dance. And I chose this platform because I have been a dancer for the past 11 years, over 11 years. And dance has awakened my introverted spirit. Dance has helped me to become more confident, more disciplined, and to be more expressive. And I think that this is the perfect opportunity for me to advocate for dance in our schools, and so that it can help our youth to be more creative in the arts. So your passion is dance. Yes.
Very good. Another supporter of the art. Let's move on to contestant number 3, Miss Carib Brewery. What is your platform and why did you choose it?
My platform is the integration of non-nationals into the local community. I chose this platform because it is very near and dear to my heart. 15 years ago, I migrated to St. Kitts and Nevis from Guyana with my family. It was a challenging time for me because inclusion was not an easy matter. I feel I stood out amongst my peer, I guess because of my skin tone, my hair, my accent. And therefore, I find like I was a little isolated because of that. I didn't blend in. So I have got the opportunity, and I am thankful that I was able to spread this awareness of talking about the challenges that non-nationals face in a society, any given society, and some of the solutions that are brought forward to help with all these challenges that non-nationals are facing. After all, we are one people, no matter our color, class, nor creed.
Wow, well said. I'll vote for you. Moving on to contestant number 4, Miss National Caribbean Insurance. Same question. What's your platform and why did you choose it?
My platform is the importance of implementing financial literacy education into our high schools. Okay? So as someone with a bachelor's in finance, and I also have a master's in financial risk management, so I know firsthand that the financial landscape is complex and it's very challenging for a lot of people. And even in our community, we still see people live paycheck to paycheck, have a lot of debt, still lack the financial resources or just how to manage their debt in general. But I believe that if we learn about budgeting, saving, investing, financing, just spending money, we would be better able to equip our financial resources. And this will prepare us for more financial security, stability, and help us in the future in general. Thus far, I've conducted a survey among both high schoolers and adults to compare the data to see where is the gap and how can we fill the gap. I've also done a webinar with the Chamber of Commerce talking about the importance of financial literacy, my personal experience, my feedback, my journey as it relates to how I was able to complete my studies without taking out debt, how I channel my budgeting experience in terms of my spending habits or going out on dates, how I would include it into my budget, and how important it is to really allocate your budget to everything.
Wow. Now, you say you have a master's in
financial risk management.
Okay, so I'm going to come to you to help me do my taxes,
yes,
right?
Yes, you can come. I've also been doing a project which is Dance on a Budget. I'm also into the arts. I'm very passionate about dancing. So thus far, I've conducted a project with the Children's Dance Theatre, teaching dancers how to budget but using dance moves.
Now that's unique. All right then. We're going to have to look into that at another time. But let's wrap this up with our final contestant, Miss National Bank. Tell me, what is your platform and why did you choose it?
My platform is Balancing Sports and Education, a Sustainable Approach. I grew up in a sporting household. My parents played and coached various sports, and my siblings also played sports at the national level, and so I naturally became a product of the environment. Playing sports was mandatory in my household, likewise was performing outstandingly well in school. And so I became a student athlete from my primary school years up until my college years. Hence why I chose to bring support and attention to those persons who have been performing well in school as well as in athletics. I find that society is often of the view that in order to perform outstandingly well in one area, you need to jeopardize the other. I think that finding that perfect balance between both can offer so many opportunities. My platform development series has started, and so I have thus far recognized 2 students who are currently attending my alma maters, the Seventh-day Adventist Primary School, the Morris Hillier Memorial Junior School, and the Washington Archibald High School. That is what I have done so far, and I also have intentions of doing so much more in recognizing those persons who have found that perfect balance between athletics and academics.
All righty then. So you're the athlete of the group. All right then. Well, thank you very much for joining us at ZIZ Studios. It's been a fantastic pleasure speaking with all of you. And I don't know about the rest of you guys out there, but I am so looking forward to this upcoming pageant. athletes, artists, dancers, a financial whiz. We've got a broad array of personalities and focuses and talents and skills. This is going to be one unforgettable and unmissable show. Once again, let's go to the names. We've got contestant number 1, Miss Sasha Herbert, Miss Development Bank. Contestant number 2, Saskia Evans, Miss The Cable. Contestant number 3, Harsha Parmanand, Miss Carib Brewery. Contestant number 4, Nikira Nichols, Miss National Caribbean Insurance. And contestant number 5, Canine Blanchett, Miss St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank. There you have it, the 5 contestants all vying for the title of Miss National Carnival Queen of St. Kitts and Nevis. Well, that wraps it up for this interview. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Jason Davis. Have a great day.